Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about why we need to load up our bags now in cryptocurrency if we are going to, because I do believe that we are about to see a massive rally that is going to absolutely knock your socks off. So let's go ahead and read some chat and introduce you guys. We've got a lot to cover here today. Very excited to be here on stream with all of you, and thank you very much for tuning in. Today is Wednesday, March the 27th, 2024. My name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for almost 7 years now. July 31st will be 7 years since I got into crypto. And I tell you what, it has been a wild ride. It has been a lot of ups, it has been a lot of downs, but it has always been a lot of exciting. And so I want to show you guys how you can generate profit in the cryptocurrency space, roll it over into paying off debt, getting in control of your finances, enjoying some money, being able to be radically generous with it, setting yourself up for the long term, helping your children, sending them to college, whatever it is. I want to help you succeed with money. So let's read some chat. Chris Moe is in chat. Sean O'Brien's here. Carter Pennington, Museum of Corruption, Crypto Ohio, RJ, Sir Stonewall, Blaine O, Andrew Johnson, Christina Roscoe, Shadrach Frost, Romulosi, Nine Skulls is in chat. Cosmin B, Victor's in chat. Fury Inferno, Irene Borges, Hall of Fame, Garrett Doors in chat. Christopher Ryans, Carter Pennington again. Victor's in chat. Philip Tete is in chat. Cool. Shadrach Frost, of course. Die Rich Entertainment, and so many more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've got a lot to cover today. Let's go ahead and jump straight on over to CoinMarketCap. As you guys can see, Bitcoin is currently trading at almost $70,000. It is up 9.05% in the last 7 days, although it has been largely trading sideways over the last 24 hours. Yesterday, we did briefly rally above $70,000, reaching a new local high of $70,500. We have dropped about $800 since then, and Bitcoin is retaining quite a large degree of its volatility. Ethereum is up 5% in the last 7 days, up to $3,543. I was remembering back to the days when I got in crypto when it was trading at $100. It's been a while. Binance is up 10% in the last 7 days. Solana up 5% in the last 7 days. XRP up 3% in the last 7 days. Dogecoin up 38% in the last 7 days, overtaking Cardano and currently trading at 18.5 cents. All my Dogecoin hodlers out there are probably very, very excited about all of that business. Cardano is up 5.35% in the last 7 days. SHIB is up 16.59% in the last 7 days. Toncoin up 15%, having gone through a major rally last week. Bitcoin Cash has rallied, and it is still worth absolutely zero. No, I'm just kidding. The market value is $10 billion. I have no idea why you would buy Bitcoin Cash. Internet Computer is popping off. It is almost up to $20. This time, 1984 won't be like 1984 because it's trading at $19.84. This time, it has to do with the internet, not just the computer that it runs on. Near Protocol up 15% in the last 7 days. Uniswap up 10%. Litecoin up 16%. Aptos up 20%. A lot of great things happening in the markets today, guys. Portfolios across the board are doing very well. Dismantle is up 64%. Immutable X up 8%. Chronos up 15%. And guys, we got some very exciting news about something. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Coming in very, very soon. Dog Whiff Hat has rallied a good bit. It's up 44%. Thorchain's up. Caspa's up. Theta Network's up. Arweave's up. Just about everything is up. Are we moving into the altcoin season? Not yet, but it will come to pass. We will end up having a major rally into the altcoin season. But I do believe that Bitcoin is going to get its traction back under it, and we're going to go through a major rally on Bitcoin first and foremost and preeminently. Now, the reason for that is because we have had some exceptionally bullish news coming out about Bitcoin over just the last couple of weeks. I introduced a story on Monday where we found out that Bitcoin has been witnessing some of the largest inflows onto any exchange traded fund in the history of the United States stock market, setting literal world records for streaks out the gate when the market actually first launches. Very, very, very big things happening on Bitcoin, and that is very exciting news. Bitcoin is likely going to be able to hold some kind of support here and go through a major rally in the course of the next several days, but this rising wedge that we've been talking about ad nauseum is now coming into play. Remember, not long ago, just yesterday, we did manage to break up to $71,500. Ever since then, unfortunately, for all of you bulls that may be going into long positions, Bitcoin is now experiencing a descending triangle pattern, and we're experiencing quite a lot of volatility. We've got some scam wicks coming on the bullish side and on the bearish side, which are going to knock you out if you're in a trade. If you're trying to trade this market, I do caution you, please be very careful. I do not encourage you, if you don't know what you're doing, to be day trading. Let me say that again. If you don't know what you're doing, I encourage you to not day trade, because you will get burnt. My friend, if you have not gone through the financial sovereignty way and gotten out of all of your consumer debt, you're investing for the long term, you are investing for the short term, and you are building your skill set in all of those areas, and you also have put in your 100, 200, 300 paper trades, 100, 200, 300 spot trades. You got no business doing leverage where you're going to get liquidated. If you think that you are ready for leverage trading, and you cannot give me a very, very, very good reason as to why, then you are probably making a mistake. Please be very careful. A lot of you guys, if you don't listen to me, are going to get wrecked. And part of the reason for that is Bitcoin's probably about to go through well, look at that. Isn't that funny? It's probably about to go through a correction. I look back at the chart and it was already doing what I was about to say. I always love when that happens. You know, when you've been in a market for a long time, that just happens sometimes. You're like, I think this is about to happen. Let me talk about that. And then you look down and it's happening. I was just about to say, because I just looked back down at the chart, because this has been happening for, I don't know, about a minute now. I was just about to say that I think Bitcoin is probably going to go through some kind of corrective movement and break bearish out of this symmetrical, out of this rising, ascending wedge. And we've also got this descending triangle pattern that gives us excuse me, that gives us bearish confidence. It seems to me that Bitcoin is going to be attempting breaks bearish today. It is raining very heavily today, which was very difficult on everything this morning, but I think it may be raining on Bitcoin right now as well. We may be seeing quite a lot of volatility. You see, the order books are going to be quite thin, because it wasn't long ago that the order books got absolutely wiped out by this scam wick down. A lot of people right now are taking profits. I read an article this morning that said that we have reached record profit taking. People are taking $2.6 billion of profit a day on Bitcoin. And the reason for that is because Bitcoin has abso-flipping-lutely moonshot. So it stands to reason that people are going to take profits. Where are they putting that money? Well, the good news is they're not taking it out of the market, because total market capitalization isn't really going down. Instead, what they're doing is they're moving it into altcoins. Notice on total market cap, you know what, we'll actually look at the chart. Let's go over to total. As Bitcoin has been correcting during all this time, total market cap hasn't really done all that much correction. It's come down a little bit, but not much. That is because there is money leaving Bitcoin, but a large portion of it is actually moving into the alts. People are taking profit on Bitcoin right now, and yes, they're doing the 5 things that you can do with money after you make it, which is 1, pay off debt, 2, reinvest, 3, pay taxes, which sucks, but do it or you will end up in jail. They're enjoying some of it, and they're being radically generous with some of that money. There's a video coming out later on today about the 5 things you can do with money after you make your money in the cryptocurrency space. Those are the 5 things. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you. Those are the 5 things you can do with money. People are taking profits and they're doing that. But a large portion of that is in the one category of reinvestment. They're reinvesting it back into the cryptocurrency space. Where are they doing that? They're putting it into alts. I do financial coaching with you guys every single day. So I have a unique perspective on how you guys think compared to most of the YouTubers you're going to watch on this stream, on YouTube. Because I actually talk to real investors every single day that are investing tens, sometimes just thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars in cryptocurrency. Just talked to someone yesterday that had a couple $1 million cryptocurrency portfolio. Shout out to you. You're totally anonymous. I will never release any of your information to the public, but it was a great conversation. A couple $1 million portfolio. And so I understand the way you guys are thinking on a lot of things. And what most of you guys are telling me is, man, Bitcoin got only like 2x from here. I think I'm going to put some money in the alts because they will go higher. And so whether or not that's a good idea, which I think there's a certain train of thought to that makes sense, but whether or not it does or not, the fact of the matter is that's the way a lot of people are thinking. I'm doing at least 5 coaching calls a week right now. It's a lot. It's really fun. And pretty much every time I talk to you guys, I hear the same exact thing. I'm not sure if I want to put that much money into Bitcoin. In fact, I see this portfolio all the time. 1% in Bitcoin, 40% in Ethereum. What would that be? 49%? 59%? Yeah, 59% in everything else. That's the portfolio I'm seeing quite a lot. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin. It's just, it doesn't have a big enough X factor. My friend, just to start off with, that's a mistake. Have Bitcoin in your portfolio. You're making a mistake by not investing in Bitcoin because it is probably still the best risk to reward ratio of anything in crypto because the risk on some of these altcoins is so high. They're under onslaught by the SEC. Bitcoin is the only one that's been given the green light by the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's the only one. If SEC rolls back and tries to go after Bitcoin at this point, then they're a complete scam. We already knew that, but then now everybody's going to know that. Even the people that don't keep up with it. Because then they're just completely changing what they're talking about. So Bitcoin's still got a great risk-to-reward ratio. It is foolhardy to only look at the reward. Oh, this coin could only 2x, but this coin could 10x. Well, that's dumb. You know why it's a dumb way to think? The reason that's a dumb way to think, I'm not saying you're dumb, you're smarter than this, which is why I'm calling what you're doing dumb, because I know you're smarter than this, and I want to let you know the smarter thing to do is this. You need to look at the risk-to-reward ratio, which means this could 2x, but this could 10x, but this is 10 times more risky. So actually, the thing that's going to 2x, being 10 times less risky, is actually a twice as good of an investment because you have to calculate the beta. An inexperienced trader only calculates the alpha, which is the potential return. An experienced investor, investor calculates the beta as well, which is the amount of risk that the market carries. And when you calculate the alpha and the beta, we're not just seeking alpha, we're seeking alpha over beta because we're seeking risk to reward because we are investors and we're trying to actually stay in the game and not go bankrupt every 5 years because I tell you what, making a few $1 million and then being stupid with it and losing a lot of it is something I've tried. It's not fun. I cannot tell you how much stress it will put on your shoulders. Please don't do that. Get rich a little slower and keep it. Please. I've been there. I've done that. I've made money super fast, not knowing really how to manage it, and it just went straight through my hands. I have been so flipping stupid with money. Like I told you guys the other day, I've been dumb with more money than most of you guys have. Not putting any of you down. I'm just saying there are commas, plural, on the amount of money I've been stupid with and the amount of stupid lessons I had to learn the stupid way. I was tired of being stupid, so I finally decided I'm going to get smart. And I figured out a few things. And one of the things is that if you're going to invest in something, you calculate the beta. And you don't invest in what you don't understand. I already have that one down. I've invested in more altcoins in this market than I ever have in any other market. I have that one. I at least did do that. But you calculate the beta, and you have a plan for taking profits. And you live on less than you make. And you follow the 6 laws of money, financial sovereignty, living on less than you make, having a written plan, getting out of debt, building wealth through investment and savings, and also being radically generous. You follow those 6 laws of money, I guarantee you will be more successful. I guarantee you will be more successful if you live in the first world and you have the ability to own stuff. If you live in a capitalistic market where you're not under oppression, somebody's not going to show up at your house at gunpoint and say, your stuff is now our stuff, thank you very much, get out, because that happens in a large part of the world. So long as that kind of thing, the whole oppression stuff is not happening to you, then you have the ability to build wealth. But if you do it the wrong way, you will build wealth, and then you will lose the wealth. And here's what's going to happen. You are going to become like so many people and become bitter and say, oh man, little man can't get ahead. That's just the rich people. They just hate small people. They just hate poor people. No. The reason that most people get rich, if you look at the studies, the scientific data on this, what the rich people generally, and there are exceptions, you've got your Elizabeth Warrens and your Gary Genslers out there for sure, and your Nancy Pelosi's out there. You've got name a right-wing person. I don't care. There's a bunch of foolish, mean rich people. There's a bunch of foolish, mean poor people too. But generally, if you're worth $1 million, 10 million, 100 million bucks, you got there because you made a lot of other people wealthy too, and you were radically generous. And you learned a few lessons, and one of the lessons is that you calculate the risk. And now we're getting back to the actual point. You calculate the risk. So why should you be considering investing in Bitcoin right now? Why should you be considering investing in anything right now? Because of the risk-to-reward ratio. Let me tell you a risk to reward ratio. You have a 5% mortgage on your house, and you think, oh, that's not that much. If you're in the first 5 years of that mortgage, if you put $1 into the principal, you're going to save $3 on interest. That is a guaranteed 3x. Ever heard the phrase, a dollar saved is a dollar earned? Why should we pay off debt? That's why. Because it's an infinite risk to reward ratio. 3x is your reward. The risk is absolutely zero. Not doing that is dumb. Not doing that is foolish. That being said, I also think not investing in Bitcoin is foolish. Somebody said channeling your inner Dave Ramsey. Kinda, but I also would be more than happy to tell Dave Ramsey straight to his face that he's dead wrong on Bitcoin. I love Dave Ramsey. I look up to him. He is completely flipping wrong on Bitcoin. He is completely and totally wrong on Bitcoin. And as much as I love the guy, and he's right on most things, he's been eating his word for he's been eating his words for a decade on Bitcoin. And he will probably keep doing it to his grave. I hope he repents one day. Can we get a hashtag pray for Dave in chat? Man, he would be so popular in the cryptocurrency space if he just didn't hate it. I would be telling you guys to go listen to his stuff every single day if he wasn't going to tell you miss out on Bitcoin. But what he will also tell you, and he is also right because it's, basic economics, is you calculate the reward and you calculate the risk. And when you're investing in Bitcoin, you calculate the fact that, all right, it might 2 or 3x from here, but it also has almost a guarantee to do that, which is part of the equation because it just had an ETF approved. It's got a regulatory green light in the cryptocurrency, in the United States. It's being mass adopted by hundreds of millions of people. Guys, we're looking at doing some stuff with crypto.com. They've got 80 million users. 80 million users. Absolutely insane. Coinbase, like 100 million users. It is nuts. Bitcoin represents the entire freaking industry. So when I say you can make 2 or 3x in Bitcoin, it is not risk-free because I tell you what, at some point it's probably going to drop 70% again. But if you know how to get out of it and you have the knowledge that leads to understanding and the fruit of which is wisdom, which then leads to riches and honor and many other things like peace, if you have those things and you know how to properly invest in Bitcoin, you can make a lot of money and 2 to 3x your money there with very low risk. Please pay off your debt because if you've got a 20% interest rate on your credit card, for every dollar of your credit card debt you pay off, if you got a 20% interest rate, you're saving like 7%. Sorry, $7 for every dollar you put in. I'd have to run the math. It might not be that high, but it's at least $3 or $4. For every dollar you pay off of debt, you are instantly getting $3 or $4 because paying off the debt allows you to pay off, allows you to not have to make the interest payments. You are literally run it into an amortization calculator. I did it yesterday. I was looking at this with some average mortgages. If you have a 5.125 mortgage and it's a $380,000 mortgage and you put $1 into that, it's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and you put $1 into the principal in the first 5 years, you are going to save $3 on interest. That's what we call a guaranteed 3x. You get a guaranteed 3% a year in treasuries. People are like, why pay off debt? That's why. Because that was $3 of interest that you get to keep because you put $1 into the principal. So here's the plan. There are 10 steps. I'm going to read it to you right now. This is something we're working on, but I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to be very open about this. This is how you build wealth, and then we're going to apply this to cryptocurrency. I've been very open about the 6 laws of money. Here is what I call the financial sovereignty way. Who wants to hear it? Can I get a 1 in chat? Who wants to hear the financial sovereignty way? I've only been doing this for like 10 years, almost. I've learned a thing or two. I've learned a thing or two about how to actually do this. Who wants to hear the financial sovereignty way? It's not something you've heard before. You may have heard it a couple times here on the channel. First thing you do is you choose financial sovereignty. You repent of whatever else you were thinking you were going to do, and you say, I'm going to listen to people that actually have money. And this plan is what people that actually have money say. This is what the studies that have surveyed hundreds of thousands of them across dozens and dozens and dozens of research studies say. And by the way, this is also what the Bible says, so Christians, listen up. This is based on the 6 laws of money, all of which I can quote chapter and verse on. They are simply scripture, period. The first thing you do is you choose to be financially sovereign over your money, which means be below God in meekness and submission to his leading and his word and what he says. And by the way, he teaches the 6 laws of money. So we're going to be below him. We're going to do it his way because, by the way, he made money. So I think he knows how to run it better than I do or you do. We're going to be in submission to him. We're going to choose financial sovereignty, which means being below God. First thing he ever tells you to do in the entire history of the entire Bible in Genesis 1 verse 28 is subdue the earth and have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Financial sovereignty is below God, above creation, in control. I am repenting because it is wrong. And it will lead to foolish things to believe anything else and to treat money any other way. Looking at your money in any other way besides that is foolish, and it will lead to destruction to the proportion to which you do not follow financial sovereignty. You will be destroyed financially if you don't follow it. Think of anybody you know for a second. Think of anyone you know that does not choose financial sovereignty. They don't do money God's way. They do not subdue the stuff in their life, and they are not self-controlled. Think of anybody you know and tell me that they do not, that they don't line up with what I just said. If somebody is not successful, and again, there's this group of people over here that's probably 3 billion people strong, unfortunately, in our world, that are genuinely oppressed, or they are genuinely like a quadriplegic or something, and they just don't have the ability to do much because they are under oppression or under the yoke of circumstance. And I have absolute sympathy for them in those situations. If you are able-bodied in a capitalistic country, and for those people too, they need to choose FinSov to the degree that they're able to. But we choose FinSov. That is law number one. That is the first step of the financial sovereignty way. The second step of the financial sovereignty way is the fruit of the repentance of not doing whatever else it was that you used to do, and because you chose FinSov. And you immediately cut expenses below income, period, full stop. You no longer spend more money than you take in every single month. Today, starting today, you do not spend more money than you take in, period, full stop. It doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't. If you make $3,000 a month, you don't spend $3,001 a month unless somebody's in the hospital. Or unless your car broke down, you can't get to work. Unless it is a real emergency, you are not spending more money than you're making every single month. It's just not happening. You're just not doing it. You're just not going to do it. Because you chose in the first step to be financially sovereign, which means be below God, above creation, in control. Something that the laws of money teach us, which is from the Bible, which is the handbook for life and the love letter that God wrote us because he loves us. First thing he ever did after he created mankind was bless them. Let's not forget that. Genesis 1:27, God created man and woman in the likeness of his own image. Genesis 1:28, and God blessed them. Those are the first 4 words. And God blessed them. First thing he ever says to humanity, here's a blessing because I love you. That's the first thing he ever said. You know that? You know that? First thing he ever says to humanity is, I'm going to bless you. He says, bless you. Guess they sneezed. They were born. They went, achoo! Bless you. So we're immediately cutting expenses below income because one of the things that the Bible teaches us is that we don't live on less than we make. And here's the quote. In Proverbs, it says that a fool eats up everything that he has and has nothing left over. You know what the quote? That's Proverbs. So that is simply Bible. A fool eats everything that he has and has nothing left over. Third step to the financial sovereignty way is we're going to build a budget. We're going to figure out how much money we have coming in every month. We are going to figure out how much money we need to spend every month, and we're going to allocate budgets appropriately. The fourth step is we're going to save a $2,500 starter emergency budget for if there's a real emergency, like if you break your ankle and you can't walk, or if you don't have a car and you need to get to work, you can buy one. Or if you're trying to be an investment banker and you need a suit, so I literally do need a suit, so I'm going to go buy a suit. This is an emergency fund to start us with. After that, after we built our budget and we are maintaining a positive cash flow, we're going to leverage the positive cash flow to pay off all of our consumer debt, all of our consumer non-mortgage debt as quickly as possible. The deeper you cut, the faster you get through this step, because I'm going to tell you right now, this step freaking sucks. It is miserable. In my experience, because I've had to walk the financial sovereignty way, just so you know, that's how I created it, because I had to do these things. That step sucks. It is the most miserable step, and if you don't get through it quickly, it will do damage to you in your life. It is a little bit like chemo for cancer, but let me tell you something. Debt is cancer. It is slavery. It is bondage in the same way that an illness or a disease is. It is a disease on your life. Sixth step, after you've paid off all your non-mortgage debt, save a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. After that, the seventh step is I want you to invest 15% for retirement. You've probably heard some of these things before. After that, I want you to pay off your house because I don't care what your interest rate is. You are giving money to somebody else. And even if you're only saving 50 cents for every dollar you put in, that is an immediate 50% return. But still a good idea to pay off your house. After that, I want you to invest for wealth generation in stocks, cryptocurrency, real estate, whatever it is that you understand and know. And then from there, my friends, you're going to be radically generous, live an awesome life, leave an awesome inheritance, and establish prosperity in your family for generations to come. If you follow the 6 laws of money and the financial sovereignty way, I can guarantee you something. I guarantee you that short of the world ending, short of you being literally oppressed, and like somebody comes and literally puts you in slavery, or somebody literally comes, or your legs get knocked out from under you, you will be successful with money. I guarantee it. And so how do we apply that to cryptocurrency? The way we apply that to cryptocurrency is that I want you to invest in Bitcoin. I want you to invest in Ethereum. I also want you to pay off all your high yield interest, all your high yield debt before you do that. All your consumer debt. Put some money into cryptocurrency. Have the emergency fund. Live on less than you make, and have a written plan for how you're going to invest in crypto. And I've talked to you about how to invest in crypto. You're going to dollar cost average every single week. You're going to put up to 25%. It can be less than that, but you're going to put up to 25%. This is up to your discretion, but you're going to put up to 25% of what you invest every single week into a cash account, either in USDC generating 5% or into a savings account generating 5%. And from there, if the market goes through a big correction like it did last week, then you're going to ladder in even more, and you're going to load up on the dollar cost averaging as the market is low. And you're going to hold on to it. And then once the market gets to a certain place, you're going to say, all right, we've to start laddering out 1% a week. We're going to start laddering out 2% a week. It's called a withdrawal rate, except instead of an annual withdrawal rate like you would do in a retirement situation, we're doing a weekly withdrawal rate. And we're going to start off by taking out 1%. Then we're going to take out 2%. Then we're going to take out 3%. We're going to increase that so that when we hit the all-time high, we've still got some of the position, but we are taking profits and guaranteeing profits as quickly as possible. If the market's already tripled, my friends, start taking profits, even if it's 1% a week. Even if it's 1% a week. This is something you'll probably have to do manually because this kind of architecture to do what I'm talking about is not in crypto yet. I hope it will. I intend to make this as popular as I can so that the exchanges will start giving you options like this. Excuse me. But after it gets to a certain point, maybe Bitcoin hits 100. Maybe Ethereum hits 6. Maybe Binance hits 1,000. Maybe Solana hits 350. Maybe Dogecoin hits 40 cents. You're going to start taking 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% profit out every single week. And you're going to start laddering out of the position early so that you guarantee profits. Because, my friend, opportunity cost is not a real cost. No accountant is ever going to say, well, the opportunity cost is $3,000. Well, the opportunity cost, can I make that clear? Can I say that again for the people in the back? Opportunity cost is not real. It's not a real cost. You know what the real cost is? The real cost is you bought an asset and I want you to profit on it. The real cost is you bought it at $2,000 and you sold it at $4,000. So you profited $2,000. If you buy it at $4,000 and you sell it at $2,000, there's no opportunity cost of, oh, well, I could have gone to 20. No, the cost was you lost $2,000. The cost or the profit is the investment minus the realized return. Period. People get so caught up on, oh, well, I could have held it longer. My friend, you doubled your money. Glass half full, man. Have an abundant mindset. You doubled your money. I'm so excited for you. More details on laddering out. Great. I got a little note card right here I wrote for a coaching call where I was explaining to somebody. Here you go. Here's a note card. Very simple. You want to start dollar cost averaging into the market. I need to get some more fancy right? You know, no fancy graphics. We're using note cards, pencils. Fancy graphics are incoming. Wait 10 years. We'll be there. You start dollar cost averaging before the bottom of the market so that you are buying when the bottom of the market comes. You don't know when the bottom of the market is going to be, but you can, by technical analysis, kind of figure out when you think it'll be and what the price will be. So say on Bitcoin, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging in and I don't know, it hit 30. I don't know where the bottom's going to be, but I'm going to put in $1,000 a week at 30 every week. And then all of a sudden I got $150,000 in Bitcoin. It's at 20. Now it's going to go up to 200. Great. Make $1.5 million or whatever. Start dollar cost averaging in before the bottom of the market. Then you're going to start DCAing out before the top of the market. This card really helps me to understand it visually. I'm a very visual person, so this helps me to be able to explain it. Hopefully this makes sense to you. You're going to start dollar cost averaging before you hit the top so that you're already in the habit of selling when you do hit the top. This is common sense stuff. You're looking at this and saying, yeah, that's pretty freaking simple. That's the point. Everybody wants to tell you, do this and you'll be a millionaire. I've got one of those. Follow the 6 laws of money in the financial sovereignty way, and you give it worst case scenario, 10 years. I'm literally talking worst case scenario, 7 to 10 years here. More likely scenario for most of you guys, a couple of years. Maybe 3 or 4. Maybe a year. We'll see. I mean, it depends on how your investments do. Depends on how much debt you have. Depends on your income. Depends on how deep you're going to cut. It depends on where you're starting, what your net worth is right now. Worst case scenario in the United States of America, you follow what I just said. I can basically guarantee you that in 7 to 10 years, you will be a millionaire. And by the way, you will have learned how to keep those millions and stay a millionaire for the rest of your life. Again, notwithstanding some kind of circumstance or oppression. And by the way, there's a lot of people that are or were under oppression, and they ended up making something out of themselves for it. Martin Luther King was genuinely oppressed. That man was genuinely oppressed, but he was also led of the Holy Spirit, and he was led of God, and he absolutely made a change. He did not let oppression stop him. Instead, he fought back, and he put it in its place, which is in the pits of hell, which is exactly where racism belongs. He fought back against oppression in a peaceful way, in a godly way, but he still put his foot in the ground and said, no, this needs to end. This is over. Very good, very, very good thing he did. There's plenty of other examples. Elie Wiesel, he wrote the book Night, which I read in 8th grade. If anybody has ever read the book Night, it is a horrific account of Elie Wiesel's personal experience with the Holocaust. Absolutely horrific experience. Elie Wiesel went on, and he never wanted to talk about it again, but someone convinced him, man, you've got a testimony here. You've got a story here. You need to write about this. You survived the camps. You need to write about this. You're going to inspire generations. He wrote that book, and it is taught in school starting in 9th grade all the time. And he was able to inspire millions of people. One, to not ever let that happen again, but also to have faith and fight back and have hope to live. He took the oppression and he said, you know what? I'm going to make something beautiful out of what was ugly. That's restoration. What's the point here? The point is, if you want to be successful with money, there's a way to do it. And I'm going to show you exactly how. But guys, there's one way to do it. It's a proven way to do it. If you do it, you will be successful. Pretty much guaranteed. In our current world, if you live in the United States, pretty much guaranteed you're going to be successful. All right, let's read some chat. Jeb, can you check out AVAX chart? Sure, we'll look at the AVAX chart. Let's see. Ned has bad aim. Said, nah, been here a few times and learned a lot about crypto from Jeb, but why doesn't he create a channel for his beliefs rather than losing followers because of his religious views? I'm not really worried about losing followers. What I am worried about is losing souls. One day I am going to meet Christ in the clouds, and I'm going to look down, and I'm going to see everybody that I've ever interacted with in my entire life. And every single one of them is going to look up at me, and they're going to say, why didn't you tell me that this was going to happen? Am I going to respond back to you and say, because I was scared, I would offend you? And because I was scared, I would offend you, I didn't tell you about a God that loves you, that created you, and the first thing he ever did was bless you. How could I not make that an integral part of my being? How could I not shout that from the rooftops? How could I not tell people that at every single opportunity, even if it cost me a few subscribers or a few flipping stupid dollars? By the way, we're doing very well. God has blessed us richly financially. Very, 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 very thankful for all that God has done for us. I made a commitment after I became a Christian that any time that I thought, I don't know if I ought to talk about God right now, I just would. Because I never want to give room to the devil to try and silence me when I am doing what Christ told me and preaching the gospel to all nations. And if that means I make less money, then cool. I make less money. That'll keep me humble. If that means I lose a few subscribers and it slows us down on growth, then cool. It slows down our growth a little bit. I don't care. Because what I care about is your soul. Ned has bad aim. Whatever your name is. I mean, you, Ned. I'm going to call you Ned. Not your screen name. I'm assuming Ned's your real name. Ned, that you are beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. God created you and he formed you in your mother's womb before you were ever born. And then he sent his only begotten son that he would die on the cross for you because he loves you that much. He loves you so much, he came and died for you. All he's asking is for you to make him the Lord of your life and that you would follow him. The only individual, the only being in all of creation that has ever never let you down. I'm a Muslim and would never unsubscribe. I love that you're here, Zach. I love that you're here. And while I don't agree with you, I love you so much. And I want what's best for you. I love you so much. Love has become a 4-letter word in this world. You know it's weird to tell your friend you love them? You know what's weird? It's like considered unprofessional. They make jokes about it in movies. Like, you're talking with your boss, and at the end of the conversation, you're looking at your wife, and you say, I love you, and you hang up. And you're like, oh, crap, I can't believe I told my boss I love him. Why is that a bad thing? That is stupid. It is stupid to consider love a bad thing. I love you. I want you to succeed. I care about you. Part of caring about you is telling you when you're wrong. So you have an opportunity to be told. The Ethiopian eunuch told Peter, how am I ever to learn unless someone teaches me? How am I ever to understand unless someone tells me? And hey, if it's not your cup of tea, I love you. I love you enough to say you do what you think you have to do. You don't have to watch the channel. You're not stuck here. Anyway, I said we would look at Avalanche, so let's do it. And guys, I'm not perfect. I want to make that very clear. I am not perfect. I am not. I want you to know I have not mastered. I am not on top of the financial sovereignty way. I have been walking it, and I will continue to walk it for the rest of my life. But far be it from me to ever say that I got it all figured out, because that would be lies and that would be pride. I do have some things figured out that you might not yet. And if I do, then I want to be able to share them with you and help you to grow. Have a better life. Have a better eternity. Avalanche has grown considerably in the last few months. Up from lows in October of $3 billion, is now trading at $20 billion. Part of what that means is that much of Avalanche's rally has already occurred. And you have missed out on a good bit of it. Something also to consider is that Avalanche, while it does have a maximum supply, also has a circulating supply that's only about 52% of that number. So there has been a considerable amount of inflation, which is seen in the price action versus the market capitalization charts, as you can see right here. We are already much closer to a market cap all-time high than we are to price action all-time high, so it is very imperative. It's a double positive. It is simply imperative that we look at the market cap chart over the price action chart. It's about a 50% rally to all-time high. So I personally would not make Avalanche a huge part of my portfolio, maybe 1%, 2%, 3%. I bought some of it. It's not a huge position. But similarly to how something like Solana has already passed market cap all-time high. I'm not saying don't buy it. I think we're still kind of in the buying window, but we're starting to get out of the buying window. Solana's actually already past previous market cap all-time high. I think it'll go higher. But when you're already close to or past market cap all-time high, that introduces another risk factor. And remember, we invest based on risk to reward ratios, not on my favorite influencer said, buy this coin and I'll be a millionaire tomorrow. That's a little bit like saying, go buy number 7 on the counter at the gas station and you'll be a millionaire tomorrow. You might be. One person might become a millionaire tomorrow, and 50,000 people might just be out $2.79. It's not a strategy. The strategy is you calculate the risk to reward ratio based on what we call facts, logic, rationale, and scientific analysis of the markets. And when we have done that, then we will be able to come with an expert's opinion on the risk to reward ratio. As I said, the best risk to reward ratio on an investment that you will ever get, more than likely, is paying off debt, just about no matter what the interest rate is, because it's zero risk. I guarantee you won't have to pay interest on money you don't owe. Capiche? Like, does that make sense? Like, even if you're only going to save 40 cents of interest on the dollar of interest, on the dollar of principal you put in, 40 cents on the dollar, 40% is your instant guaranteed return. Every investment, including the stock market, like I said, I just talked to somebody yesterday in financial coaching. He said, I knew a bunch of people back in the 90s. This was an individual that was in his 50s. He said, I knew a bunch of people back in the 90s that couldn't retire because the stock market was down 50%. And, I don't think I told him this yesterday, but what I should have told him was, when you're investing, even the stock market, which is considered to be extremely low risk, can be down half when you're ready to retire. There's risk there. The market might not be at its peak when you want to retire. It might be down 50%. It happens. Even in the stock market, it drops 50% sometimes. You know what has zero risk? Paying off your debt. Because you instantly get 40% return. That being said, the risk-to-reward ratio, as far as investments go, on Bitcoin, I think is really flipping good. Because the risk on Bitcoin went way down when that ETF got approved, man. It went way down. It cratered. It went through the floor, the amount of risk that Bitcoin carries. It absolutely cratered when the ETF got approved, because then it was adopted by the United States of America and the investment community thereof. officially. I mean, you don't get much more of an official adoption than Bitcoin having 11, not one, 11 ETFs approved on the same day. You don't get much more of an official stamp of approval than that. And Gensler and SEC knew that they had no way to take it back. They're not ever going to take it back. BlackRock's never going to give up its IBIT ETF. Fidelity's never going to give up FBTC. No. They would fight tooth and nail and spend $100 million in court fighting the SEC because it would be a worthwhile investment of their money. We're going to go prove the SEC doesn't know what they're doing. We're going to pay $250 million in a court battle against the SEC to stop them from doing this and have a judge put a pause on it until there's a ruling. They're never letting go of those ETFs. Ever. They make them too much money. This is capitalism, friends. There are a couple 100 million people that buy Bitcoin. The market is here. No one can stop it. It is here for good. Gary Gensler can whine and moan and complain all he wants, but crypto is here and he can't stop that. I don't know why he hates it so much, but he can't stop it. And so that dramatically reduced the risk on Bitcoin while still, to be honest with you, having probably a 10x reward potential in the next 10 years. That is a really solid risk-to-reward ratio, which is why I say, Dave, pray for him. Hashtag pray for Dave, my friend. He's the one teaching us about risk-to-reward ratios all the time, right? The risk-to-reward ratio on Bitcoin is very good right now. Obed said, man, you're the wisest man on the space. I may be the person that talks about God the most in this space, which is probably why you think that. Chase donated $1.99 saying, can you check out LCX? I thought for memories of LCS, League Championship Series, came back into mind. I can. I think I'm going to end up saying the same thing on LCX that I had before, which is that I haven't done much research on it. It's well outside of the top 300, which means it has a great deal of risk and a great deal of reward. And the thing that I run into is that, and it is on Coinbase, so that's great. The thing I run into with coins outside of the top 300, outside of the top 100, even outside of the top 50, is it's much more difficult to calculate the risk to reward ratio because I can't tell you where it's going to go. I got no idea. There's no track record there. But I also can't calculate the risk. All I can say is it's new, so that's very risky in its own right. Is it a bad idea to gamble on these? No. But I consider just about anything you're doing outside of the top 100, unless you've done a lot of research on it, is gambling. So not against it. I would have to do some research on it. We build blockchain infrastructure that enables our clients to trade, store, and invest in the crypto assets market in a regulated, trusted, and secured way. Great. So it's a blockchain. Cool. It's a regulated trading venue offering a range of digital currencies. Great. So it's an exchange. Cool. A lot of those. Let's see. Buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin, ETH, and many other cryptocurrencies made easy for everyone. Okay, cool. So it's a wallet. A lot of those. Man, people must hate me. Partner with Chainlink and Quant. That's cool. Partner with Polkadot and Coinbase. That's great. HBAR. Man, that's not many partners right there. They're big partners. Oh, there's more. Okay, cool. $8 trillion will be stored on blockchain networks. WEF. That's probably true. Infrastructure for this new financial world, powering professional crypto finance. Have to do more research on it. Not something I'm invested in personally. It's not part of my overall picture. Not to say it's a bad project. Could be a good project. Got nothing against it. But Chase, I'm sorry, that's not really my field of expertise there. Can you look at Aerodrome Finance? Here we go again. Bob Riley, thank you. You guys are going to learn. You guys are going to learn. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I can't even find it on CoinMarketCap. Aerodrome Finance. If I can't find it on CoinMarketCap, then I'm definitely probably not investing in it because CoinMarketCap has 2.4 million cryptocurrencies. So I'm really sorry. I don't even know where to start with Aerodrome Finance. It's not something I've invested in. Thoughts on Slurf? Oh my God, here we go again. All right, let's see. Slurf. You guys donated for this, so I'm going to try, right? Slurf. I'm assuming that this is a meme coin. I'm going to assume this is a meme coin. Slurf news. Ah, it's a sloth. You know, actually, to be honest with you, if I'm going to gamble on something outside of the top 100, it's probably going to be a meme coin because these things pop off like nobody's business. They come out of nowhere. It's just stupid how fast they show up out of nowhere. So sure, why not? It's worth $400 million out of nowhere. That's a little sketch. I'd want to know why that happened. Launched a week ago. It's worth $400 million. Why? Why is it worth $400 million? Who says? Where's it trading? It's on Radium, HTX, Gate.io. Mexi, Bing X. All right. Let's see. I always love meme coins websites because they're like, okay, at least a meme coin that is honest about itself. I love it. I love that. We raid fast. Raids. I'm not going to click on this website. I think I'm gonna get like a bot, like hacked or something. I'm not clicking on this website. But hey, that's crypto for you. $400 million. Your website looks like it was built in 1994. And, oh, there's another meme. Oh, it regenerates memes. I love seeing people smile at their phones in public. Have they received happy news? Is it a text from loved ones, perhaps? What could be the instilling such joy in that moment? Slurf. Great. Okay. No, I'm not buying it. But it's funny. It is funny. Word Made Flesh 777 donated $5, said, but God demonstrates his own love towards us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Amen. Romans 5:8. Michael Hall donated $2, said John 6, 68 through 69. Don't have that one memorized, so I will... I've heard you actually reference this one before, Micah. Then Simon answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life, and we believed and are sure that thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Amen. Amen. All right, let's read chat for a little bit, and then we'll wrap it out. Rick4962 asking the big questions. ICP. I am very excited about ICP. In fact, I've got our wallet up over here. I'm gonna see. Our ICP is almost doubled from where our average cost basis is. Pretty exciting. ICP is one that I can actually kind of do a risk to reward calculation on, which if I can't do that, I'm not buying it. At least not calling it an investment. I might buy it and call it a gamble, which is what a moonbag is. A moonbag is not an investment, by the way. It's a gamble, which is okay. It's okay to do that. Just call it what it is. It's a gamble. It's all right to gamble if you're not addicted to it. It's not a problem. It's not sin. But call it what it is, a gamble. ICP is doing really well. I'm pretty excited about it. Other than this nonsensical price that it launched at, I actually think it might recapture some of those highs. I think it could go back to $12 billion. ICP is a really cool project because there's a lot of things being built out on top of it. There's a lot of projects out there that say, we're going to be the layer zero, everything's going to be built on top of us. ICP is kind of actually managing to pull that off. It's pretty exciting. The Internet Computer reinvents compute on blockchain, incorporating more than 1,000 years of R&D effort. Everything is now on-chain. HTTP, data, compute, AI, your Web3 social network, your order book exchange. Full-stack decentralization has arrived on a sovereign network that extends the Internet. Web3 is coming. ICP is a part of that. That's pretty exciting. In fact, ICP is a foundational component of that, which is very, very, very exciting. Sovereign. Oh, man, they use my favorite word. My favorite word, sovereign. Sovereign network. If your enterprise, government, or Web3 service builds on a centralized traditional IT, there are kill switches and backdoors which deny you true sovereignty built on the network instead. Remember when I said financial sovereignty and cryptocurrency go hand in hand? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is a $10 billion network that is using the same phrasing I'm using, which, by the way, is the same phrasing God uses, which is have control and subdue. The point that they're making here is that you want to be self-sovereign. You want to be the one in control of your network. You want to be the one in control of your service provider. You know, that's what they wanted to do with certain websites. It's like go to the back door of the. There's like 6 people. If you didn't know this, here's something scary about the way the internet works. There's like 6 people that hold basically the keys to the way the entire internet infrastructure works. If they all get together with their keys and they say, we want to shut this thing down, you can shut down the whole freaking internet. It's actually a giant scam the way that is run in the back end. So it being a sovereign network is very exciting. The fact of the matter is, it's a good project. I'm not going to get into all of it today, but I'm excited about it, and it is doing very well from a performance standpoint. I think it will go to tens of billions of dollars or more. I think it will go to tens of billions of dollars. So yeah, a lot of rally coming on ICP. I am investing in it. I believe I'm still dollar cost averaging into it every week. No, I'm not. Actually, I paused my DCAing into it. But it is one of our largest positions. 4, 5, 6, 7. It is my 7th largest position in our holdings. So 8th if you include cash. But yeah, so very excited about ICP. It's a great project. Thank you so much for the $50 donation, Rick. Really appreciate that. When Jeb CRO partnership. CRO as in Kronos? I don't ever take coin sponsorships. But are you talking about crypto.com? Funny you should ask. Funny you should ask. Funny you should ask. I hear I'm pretty popular over there at crypto.com. Pierre said, hey Jeb, the Netherlands is tuned in now. Greetings. Greetings to you as well. thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Guys, we're going to have to wrap it out. We're going to have to wrap it out. I love you. I love you, and I want you to be successful. And because I want you to be successful, I'm going to tell you very, very upfront, and it might offend you, but I also might plant a seed that might take 10 years to sprout. But one day, hopefully, you'll realize I'm right. One day, you will realize I'm right, by the way. Every single one of you will realize that the 6 laws of money are true. Because at the end of days, God will share with us that every single square inch of his Bible is true. So you will all know that the 6 laws of money are true in eternity. I'd like for you to learn that on this side of eternity and follow them so you'd have a good life too. And so the 6 laws of money are thus. We are to be financially sovereign. We are under God, above creation, in control. We live on less than we make because it is a fool that devours everything that he has and has nothing left over. We have a written plan because Jesus tells us that if you set out to build a tower and you don't count the cost before you do it, and you get halfway up the tower and you run out of money and you can't finish it, then everybody's going to laugh at you because you never counted the cost. You weren't able to finish the job. 4th law of money, we're going to get out of debt because the Bible says borrower is slave to the lender, and we are to be in bondage to no man. We are to simply serve God, period. We are to invest because Jesus commends the 2 servants that 5 and 10x'd the money. And to be quite blunt with you, damned to hell the individual that did not use their talents, and this is not just talking about money, this is talking about your talents, did not use them for anything fruitful because he was not serving his Lord. And the 6th thing is that we're going to be radically generous because Christ and God have been so generous to us. If you follow the 6 laws of money, and I do call them laws because they are quite simply laws. They are like the law of gravity. They are like the law of do not take the Lord's name in vain. They are laws. You don't get around a law. It is the law, period, full stop. You don't change it. It doesn't change. It's the way it is, and it has always been this way, and it will always be this way, and no technology is going to change it. No cultural revolution is going to change it. It is still, hands down, absolutely true. It is 100% true, and no matter how much you argue against it, no matter how much you fight against it, you cannot fly and just levitate and defy gravity. You cannot just take a pen and go, now I got 2 of them. I'm breaking the law of scarcity. They are a natural law. Those are the 6 natural laws of money. And if you do those, if you follow them, you will be successful with money, period. And by the way, all of those laws of money also are going to lead you to wonder, I want to be under God, above creation, in control. Blockchain helps me do that. There's a lot of parts of my life that the rest of humanity is in control of. They lead you in a lot of directions, like getting out of debt, not using credit cards. They also lead you in the direction of saying, blockchain, good idea. That lines up with my doctrine, with my philosophy. And so, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And so, I'm going to consider them. Follow the 6 laws of money, be successful, have a good life. Invest your wealth, enjoy your wealth, and be generous with your wealth. And always remember, the core to succeeding with all of this is a daily walk with the Lord Jesus Christ. This has been Coffee and Crypto. I hope that you have enjoyed today's episode. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.